and then hand it over to Aruj, then Mike, and Christine, if she is here. Yep. And so I'll just start off. So we are the digital experience and client data team. That's our DG leads that team, Pia Andrews. And our mission is to deliver the digital experience for the benefits delivery modernization program is the program that we work under. And we are building for all intents and purposes, the digital service Canada experience. I think like many people who work in the digital space, we are attempting to deliver the best possible end-to-end user experience that we can for the clients of Service Canada, which is all Canadians. But we also have like a not so sneaky side mission that we would like to change the way services are delivered in Service Canada through taking what should be and I think is required upon us to do an omni-channel approach, because I don't think it's a good assumption to assume that people access services just through in person, just through the phone, just online, just through mail. Their experience is very likely omni-channel, and so we would like to help influence that approach. Our group, the Digital Experience and Client Data Team, is a bubble within the Benefits Delivery Modernization Program, and we do work in an agile way. We have Scrum teams. We are multidisciplinary teams that contain product manager, product owner, designer, researcher, developer, data, and fingers crossed at times, policy and subject matter experts. And so we are product driven, and that product is the digital, the Service Canada Digital Center, and then all the features that fall underneath. And I'm not going to go too into detail about what that looks like, except to say that there is an unauthenticated space where you can find out high level information about your eligibility for services through benefits through Service Canada, and an authenticated space where you can find out much more detailed information about your eligibility, things like your communications with Service Canada, the status of your application, and also you can apply for benefits through that space. I think the not so terrific spelling piece is that, like, although we do have very willing partners to work with in the delivery of those benefits, we are definitely working in different ways. And I'm sure you've all experienced this at one point or another in your time in government. Although we do have multidisciplinary agile teams in place, that is not the case across all of benefits delivery modernization. And so we run into some of the challenges that you can expect around requirements gathering versus the approach that we are taking. And so that progress is underway. There is willingness to move towards more agile processes, but I just want to be clear that we are not completely there yet. So our team is looking for a number of roles to participate in those multidisciplinary teams. And with that, I will pass it over to Aruj.
Hi, folks. So I'm helping build the Agile product management practice within DECD. And so I just want to talk a little bit about our product portfolio. As Graham mentioned, we're building we are modernizing Service Canada benefits with an omni-channel approach. Our digital products so just speaking about our digital products, we have 4 main products in our product portfolio. Before I speak about the core product, I want to just tell you a little bit about the periphery products. So we have SE Canada Labs, which is our user engagement and user testing site. So all the work that we do, we want it to be data-informed, user-centered, design-driven. And that's the role of SE Canada Labs. So SE Canada Labs plays a core role in that. We also have another team which focuses on our service analytics and the data aspects of building and delivering the service. Our third product is Virtual Assistant, which is at the moment a transactional chatbot that will help Canadians and users find information in a conversational UI format. And then at the heart of it all is our digital center. So digital center is the virtual building, so to say, through which we will deliver products and services to Canadians across the country. Graham talked about authenticated, inauthenticated spaces. So what that means is we want to be able to deliver as much of this experience in a way that users are not required to create user accounts and manage credentials and things like that. We want to be able to provide as much information as possible in what is the inauthenticated space, so the space where users, where there's information that is accessible to everyone without having to sign up and sign on onto anything. Part of the thinking here is to be more accessible and understanding the diversity of technical capabilities and skills that people from all walks of life might have. And in this inauthenticated space, we want to be able to guide users and clients to find the right benefit at the right time in their life. So we'll have multiple features in order to do that. To name a couple, we have a life journey information service, which through which clients can find information and benefits related to their specific life situation and walk through that journey to identify the right benefits that Service Canada and ESDC offer. We'll also have another feature that's called a benefits finder, which will take a more direct approach to enable users to navigate through a services register in the back end and discover services that are relevant to them. In the authenticated space, we want to be able to automate and personalize all of those features that are available in the inauthenticated space to further facilitate and offer a user experience that is more seamless to clients that want to authenticate. So there's going to be, this is a 10-year program, so many of these things are going to happen over a period of time. And so we're building towards that. So if I was to paint a picture for the vision, one of the questions I ask, and we've asked on the design of this, is why do I have to go, as a user, why do I have to go and figure out what services and benefits I'm eligible for? So by part of delivering a personalized experience may in the future mean displaying or serving the right benefits and services to clients when they're eligible. And we have a thought process here, ask once. So once we've asked a user a piece of information about them and they've provided that through a input form of some kind, we don't want to be asking them, and then we track their journey with us over a period of time. So that's the core product, the digital center, and the products and services that surround that allow us to enable that experience through the digital center product. I'll pause there, and before I pass the baton over to Mike, my colleague, are there any questions that you would like to ask at this point? Or is the question period at the end of all the pitches?
You can ask questions whenever.
Okay, great. Okay, if there are no questions at the moment, please feel free to put your questions in chat as well. I'll keep an eye there on them over there, and I'll pass the stage to Mike.
Okay. Bonjour tout le monde. Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Murphy. As you can very much tell, I'm from ESDC, since Rouge and Graham have done a great job of sort of, I would say, explaining the program, the project, what we're trying to accomplish within the digital channel and our larger BDM program, the Benefits Delivery Modernization. I have a fair amount of, I would say, experience and history with Agile and DevOps. In fact, I was one of the first people to bring Agile into our department back when we did a large ERP implementation in 2011. I've been sort of dealing with Agile and Scrum since 2009 when I first heard about it, and I haven't looked back since. It really is the way going forward as far as I'm concerned. And I'm sort of mystified all the time why people seem to want to continue on this waterfall journey when in normal life we don't typically do that outside of the office, right? Everything we do in normal life is usually a trial and error and experimentation, making it the best for us. So I'm definitely a soapbox person for standing up and wanting to promote that. And so the team that I lead currently within what Aruj and Graham have sort of described is called digital platforms and services. And essentially, we're the team responsible for providing the delivery, the developer people, and also our site reliability engineering. So the infrastructure, automation, cloud, all of the underlying platform, and we'll be supporting the actual digital platform. So the place where the services will reside. I do have a larger organization within ESDC that is called Digital Technology Solutions. And in fact, I'm made up of 3 different pillars. I have the delivery team, the SRE team, and I have what we're calling a digital dojo. And for those of you that are familiar with DevOps practices and what private industry has been doing to move organizations from their waterfalled sort of software development lifecycle delivery of products towards a more agile, iterative feedback loop, the digital dojo is that. And it's really a place where teams can come in and learn to practice rather than doing it through training or whatever. So you build real product with what we're calling, experts, coaches, subject matter experts to be able to do that. So we're looking for multiple positions. We're looking for, junior people, senior people. We're looking for team leaders. We're looking for Scrum coaches, developers, technical advisors. So all in all, and I know some of you may not be government, whatever, we have approximately 8 positions we're looking to fill now in our IT categories, all the way from junior to senior. And it is really the future of where the organization needs to go. And as Graham alluded to, that's our sort of underlying secret mission, is to basically change the way that we deliver services, both from a technology perspective and the frontline user experience to our consumers. So that's my pitch. I don't know where it's going next. Who's next?
Did Christine join or no? I don't know. No, I guess she's not here. Okay, well, we'll share her information another time.
Maybe while we wait, I know a few questions in chat. One, are there links so that we can review this information later? Any links to the stuff?
So I can, for the PO rows, I can share. I'll search for it right now on my computer and share the I guess the poster we made up, and then for the digital center pieces that Aruj talked about, I see the questions in the chat. What classifications? So we're looking for EC5 is what we will classify our POs as. Our team is fully distributed. Distributed, I'm assuming, means remote. We are fully remote with no intention to go back. And at least the team I'm on was built during the pandemic, and there are people from East Quebec all the way to BC on the team, and with a large number of them being located in Toronto, and we can't move to a NCR based situation after that. So yeah, working from home post COVID, the answer is yes.
Okay, I see another question that Moeed asked. Heard a lot about different projects. Okay, do all of the projects fall under the same team? So yes, we are all under DECD, which comes under Pia Andrews. How does your team dynamic look with regards to interactions between members on the team? Guys, how would you say our team dynamics look? Very positive? Or So yeah, within DECD, I think we're all trying to build this agile organization. There's a lot of synchronicity. Graham mentioned that we are then a part of a bigger organization, so we're a bit of an agile island in a sea of waterfall that creates a natural tension and opportunities to coach and share and learn from each other. So, but naturally there is some tension in that broader organization in our interaction. Was there any impact on productivity since the beginning of work from home last year? We all pretty much started with work from home, so I think we are the impact of work from home. Most of us, including myself, started virtually.
If I can speak to team culture a bit, I'd love to hop in. Hi, folks. I'm Meg. I'm the chief of staff for this team. So I work for our director general, Pia Andrews. And one of the most important things for our team has been building a really healthy team culture. And as a team, we developed kind of 10 pillars of the culture, which I'll throw in the chat in a moment, that we hold ourselves to. And not just, folks from the top hold us, hold employees down to, but actually in a big circle, we all hold ourselves to be the kindest, calmest people in the room and to work collaboratively at all times, among other things around creating sustainable decisions and things like that. I'd also say the interactions between our teams are multidisciplinary. So you're looking at people with all sorts of different skills working together. Mike's team, who holds all the CS classifications, work embedded in with the rest of folks on product teams. So from that perspective, you get to work across the org a lot and work with lots of different people from across the organization with different types of skills and specialties and expertise and experience. And I'd say that's one of the most rewarding parts of it, is getting to learn about all sorts of skills that we have in the team. So a lot of folks are describing our team as one of the best places they've ever worked in government, and we like to keep that going. So we did build this team from about 8 people when I started a year and a half ago to about 80. So we've all been brought on during the pandemic. We've all been brought on from working distributed, and we'll continue to have the most flexible options for our staff possible going forward. And right now our team's stretches from Newfoundland to Thunder Bay, and we're hoping to get some more folks out west in the near future as well too.
Right. So any more questions popping up? I know we have one hand up. Michael, go ahead.
Hi, Todd. Hi, guys. I had Mike mention they were looking to hire Scrum coaches, but are you also looking to hire Scrum Masters?
At this point, that's no. We're not on. We're not at the place where we are hiring Scrum Masters.
Okay.
I would say, though, that if you are a Scrum Master, there are opportunities not only within, like, there's outside of just the DECD, please. So if you're a Scrum Master looking for something, send your info my way and we'll take a look at it.
Will do. Thanks.
Right. And speaking of sending things, I'm wondering what is the best place to send your CV or a note or I don't know, a video yourself or a really funny GIF. What would be a great place to send that?
So I put my email already in the chat. So that would be a good place. And I'm happy to triage among my colleagues so that there's no need to send to multiple people.
Yeah, I included mine as well in my Twitter and LinkedIn situation, just in case, Graham wants to like filter out and try to like make sure that he's picking all the ones for himself,
Obviously.
So if there's no more pitches, no more questions.
I have a question.
Right.
Hey, and this came up in the chat, actually. I saw somebody else posted this question about Agile at scale. Like, how are you guys organizing your teams right now? And what does your transformation strategy look like? Meaning converting to Agile.
Aruj, do you want to?
Who wants to answer that one? Because I've got some history of the organization, and both Graham and Aruj have witnessed kind of, and I would say, that's a bit of a baited question because it's challenged the scaling Agile in a place that is designed not to be has definitely been an interesting challenge. So I'm curious to see what Aruj has to say, because he's come in, you know, a little bit later on in this.
Yeah. Can you just repeat your question? I was keeping my eye on the chat there as well.
I guess I'm coming from my perspective. I work at the BC government, and so I've been on this journey for, I don't know, like 4 years now. And I've gone through different areas where, you know, we've been at the exchange lab where we're insulated from, you know, politics and everything else that's going on. And I've also been in our information management branches working on change management. So I was just curious where you guys are at on that journey. Like, do most people understand what Agile is? Do people say they understand what Agile is? Like, I'm just sort of curious about what the culture is.
As with many organizations, not just government, many people say they understand Agile, and they bring their own definition of Agile with them. That's been my experience, because I originally come from the private sector and I've worked around the world, and that's what I've seen.
Yeah.
So Agile, the capital A Agile, what I've seen is always adapted to the organization and the organization's culture, and that's why there's so many variations of Agile. Within DECD, we have been coaching and practicing Agile and building up the skills and expertise within our product team to build our own version of Agile, which is which mirrors as closely as possible to the capital A Agile practice. For anything beyond DECD, it's a matter of demonstrating by practice. So if we can demonstrate the benefits of Agile by showing results, I feel we'll win interest and eagerness by others across the program to adopt. And I see that happening gradually. I don't have the background that Mike does within this organization, so I am kind of seeing things evolve at a different pace than he is, because he's coming with all of that experience with the organization. But I see every month, like I hear like people moving a bit closer, because as we report up and talk about how we're doing things, I feel like people are picking up here and there. Transition is slow, but transition is always slow and painful.
Yeah.
But Mike, what?
And do you guys have dedicated Agile teams that are dedicated to one project, or do you have developers working on several different projects? How's your?
So I'll answer that, Aruj. So yeah. For the DECD piece of it, yes, like this is very much dedicated. Like I think we've struggled a little bit in the terminology of a product. Our large sort of big product piece being the digital center and the labs. There's dedicated teams, and in fact, we're looking at, we use sometimes what we're calling our system integrators, but outside consultants to come in as a whole team to help build out features and products. So we're very much within what you might have heard the acronym DECD, aka the digital channel that we're working on, focused on you work on one thing only for that period of time. We don't have, like ESDC is a large organization, right? We're talking about, I'm guessing with probably the pandemic, we might be close to 27,000 people. Our IT branch floats around 2,000 people. It's massive. We have dedicated Agile teams. We also have dedicated, let's call them legacy teams, or teams that are building in the old way. And so we're trying to move the organization towards this way of working. There's challenges, as I suspect you may have had in BC. Our investment management sort of framework is not well suited for Agile. We use a stage-gated process, which typically requires a lot of upfronting. So there's work happening at the Treasury Board to try and reframe that, our investment management team. So there's lots of work going on to do that. It is very much let's say like we're at the beginning stages of it, even though we've been doing it for a while. It's a big ship to turn.
Yeah, it's a journey.
Exactly.
What happens? So do you guys have projects that are like, okay, so we called it the exchange lab. So what I'm hearing is there's sort of like a lab that your projects go into. Is that the same structure or type of structure where you have a dedicated team that goes and works. I mean, it would be remotely, but they're sort of removed from the business area and they work together. Is that?
So our labs.
Go ahead, Rush. No, go ahead, Rush.
Well, I was just going to say. So SD Canada Labs is a product in our product portfolio, and it's a place where where all the products can go and publish their prototypes and gather input and feedback from clients. And so one of the functions of SD Canada Labs is to build a user pool that we can leverage to test those prototypes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I think and the question that you're asking, I would say we have multiple, but we don't have, it's a bit disjointed. Like we have had an acceleration hub, which basically was designed to do what you're talking about, bring together all of the people that would deliver on a product. We've have an innovation lab, which was meant to really have kind of what Graham is leading, which is the discovery design piece of it, to sort of tease out the actual product that you would want, but then it would be handed off to a delivery team to do that. So like I said, in a scaled agile, or like what I would say we're working wagile, or that we're not all the way there. This team within DECD is one of the first like large scale massive investment pieces to be working solely in this agile way, with all the way from service design, discovery, alpha, beta, live, all of the things that we're trying to do, really focused on user piece of it, and having and I'm careful to say this, but the IT and the product owners, the subject together as a single team. So we're really emerged as a product delivery team, right? And that's that life cycle that Aruj is working on. So we can have that view of delivering those objectives and meeting our strategic outcomes and benefits through a single group, right? And we also have the DevOps piece of it, right? We control the cloud, we control the pipeline, we have everything. So we're able to cradle to grave a product. Right?
Okay, and then what happens when you're, I know like agile projects are never really complete, but so I guess I'm speaking from my experience at BC government. So we would go into the lab, we develop a product, and then like that, generally that team would sort of disband, and then it would go back, that product responsibility would go back to the information management branch. Is that how the structure is with you guys, or are you actually developing products within your information branches?
Yeah, it's so the information, like I come from what the group they called Innovation Information Technology branch. That's our IT branch, right? So that's where the CIO lives. My entire team, or a good portion of my entire team, has been embedded with what we would call the business or program area, in this case, the digital DECD piece of it. And so we are fully integrated, working in there. We're providing the guardrails and the knowledge for the, let's call it, say, traditional information technology role, but we are the product, we're with the product team. So we have product owners, product managers, we have the designers, we have our developers, our SRE engineers, all working together, and we will live for the life cycle of that product. We're not handing it off to somebody to operate once it's gotten to, let's say, live stage. It will continue to live in our domain.
Okay, cool.
And so if you're doing agile in government, you're like, oh yeah, that's what I like to hear,
Yeah.
Yeah, not that it isn't a challenge, gang. Like, I mean, we're a small pocket, right? Like, I mean, my team's arguably, 30 people from IT. I could probably put, there's maybe 100 people in a 2,000 person IT organization that are really getting hardcore into like agile DevOps and focusing on what you basically described, Mikhail, which the real product lifecycle product. So moving from project to product paradigm. And that is the major challenge in the government, right? We all live in a project paradigm.
Yeah.
You start talking product and it's just bums and seats. It's not like a start and an end.
Yeah.
It's people can't work their brain around it, right?
Yeah. It's a challenge. It's fun though.
I love it.
Yeah.
Challenges are good.
I see some excitement in your eyes. Maybe you'll send them a CV.
Sure. Why not?
But all right, so one more question, chat, but it's I wonder if you all could describe ESDC's leadership culture, specifically coming down from Pia and down into all you kind of folks.
So it's not fair for me to say because it's she's leaving at the end of this week on Friday. So Pia is leaving ESDC on Friday. But what I will say is, like, from my perspective, like, she's the best boss I've ever had, and the culture that she has created is the best culture I have worked in government. And you can see it on the teams that they actually get to work on delivering the thing they are there to work on, and that the mantra, and one that I've definitely taken to heart, of being the kindest, calmest people in the room, is one that our team espouses in our interactions with others. Because we're this work and the way we work and the way that other teams work often lead to tense conversations. But we are continuously striving to win them over, one, through our attitude, but two, through our delivery. And so I think that's to me what I would say about this team. It's something completely different than I have experienced working in the government of Canada.
Yeah, I want to add, and I 100% agree with Graham on this one, but I'm not going to sugarcoat the fact that, again, we are one of the largest departments in the government of Canada. There is absolutely the shift towards servant leadership is not there, across all leaders in our department. There is still culture change to happen, as all of you that are taking this journey know, moving the new way forward. So we definitely at times can feel like we're talking about one thing and the organization is completely talking about something else and see it completely differently. ESDC, because of the nature of what it does, and with the pandemic, like the billions of dollars that we pay out, like billions of dollars, right? It can be risk adverse. People see Agile lots of times as disruptive, not necessarily processed type thing where it introduces risks, when in fact it's quite the opposite, and they don't understand that. And that's to go back to that question of what's the definition of Agile. A lot of people times feel like, oh, yeah, it's Agile, it means you're going to do whatever you want, right? No. Actually, it means we do a lot more process, but in smaller chunks, and we can have more observability into it. So there is a culture within ESDC that is changing, but it takes time, right? And so I often use that analogy that, grassroots eventually reach a glass ceiling, right? And we're trying to break through the glass ceiling, and some of our senior leaders are very much on board for seeing the way that this is going. Others would like to very much ensure that processes are followed. So, and I suspect that's common across many of your organizations. But the team when I joined this team, the one cool thing was I was always advocating on my soapbox about this is the best. And Pia would say, like, okay, you can relax now. You don't have to sell this to us. Like, we get it. We're all drinking the same Kool-Aid. Nobody here is going to argue that this is the right way to do it. This is home. So it is very much that in here. I think the biggest thing in our team is we're just trying to make home comfier. We're always trying to improve and figure it out. And that's, if people are interested in starting a journey with a team that's really trying to transform an organization, this is where you come. Like, if you've got great ideas on how to push stuff, we're going to be the ones that are going to push it.
And I'm biased, but I do believe we have the best mission in all of government. Provide better services digitally to Canadians in the midst of a pandemic. Not all departments, in my experience, have a Canadian citizen, and citizen is not the right word, but a client facing touch. And we do, and it's real. Like, we get, the work we will do will change how people receive services from the government of Canada.
That's pretty cool. I want to sign up. Hey. All right. So if there's no other questions, we have about a couple minutes left. I will be following up with some kind of email or blast with some contact information and some next steps. This has been recorded. We'll probably edit it, I don't know, do something with it so it's cool and fancy. I don't know, maybe not. And yeah, other than that, if there's no more questions, we'll probably end it here. And thanks a lot for coming. This has been pretty cool. Yeah.
Thank you all for coming. This has been great.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, very cool. And thanks, Todd, for the invite.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. Get those CVs up, put them in a nice font. That's not maybe Comic Sans. I don't know, but hope to see you. Hope to work with you soon as a government employee. It's pretty fun. I like it. Anyways, thanks a lot. We'll see you later. Bye.
Cheers.
Thank you.